Let me briefly introduce our keynote speaker. Today I'm very excited to invite one of the most respected scholars in the Korean traditional musicology, Professor Hae-Jung Kim. So she's currently a professor at Kyungin National University of Education, and she's now currently also a president of Pansori Society and also an ex-president of the Korean Minyo, the Folk Song Society. She has done a lot of research on Korean traditional music focused on folk music, which shows a lot of strong emotions and expressivity. And she also did a lot of regular field study to meet with someone who sings the folk music, folk songs. And today she will share her insights she learned from studying the folk songs and also the pansori in Korean musicology. Okay, so and also she kindly provided the entire slide with the slide note. I also have uploaded on the Slack. So if you want to listen to her keynote with the script or maybe see it in detail later, please refer it, and you can also download it on this QR code. And yes, please give a big applause to her. Yeah.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hae-Jung Kim, and I study Korean traditional music, especially focusing on folk song and pansori. I am honored to have this opportunity to share part of my research with you today. As I am not a fluent English speaker, I am somewhat concerned that there may be moments when my delivery is unclear or misunderstood. To help avoid any confusion, I have included most of the content in a written form, which you can access by the QR code provided. I would appreciate it if you could use it. Since the 1990s, I have been conducting field research of Korean folk music, including folk song, in various regions across the country. Today, I would like to share several examples from the field that have deeply inspired me. By sharing this story, I would like to examine how emotional expression, interpersonal connection, and self-healing can take place through music. Here is the outline of today's presentation. Let me start with a very quick overview of Korean traditional music before moving into the core part of the presentation. Korean traditional music can be broadly categorized along two axes: written with orally transmitted and professional with amateur. On the chart you see here, the left side represents written music, while the right side represents oral tradition. The top half shows professional music, and the bottom half shows amateur music. Today I will focus folk song and pansori. Folk song belong to the category of folk music, while pansori is a performing art music. Both are orally transmitted, but folk song is typically amateur music, whereas pansori is considered professional. Korea experienced more than 500 years under a single dynasty, the Joseon dynasty. This long period of political continuity allowed for the development of a rich culture of documentation and ceremonial music. In addition, Korea has long been a land of pluralistic religions, and as such, it has developed a wide range of religious music traditions. Since the 17th century, performing art music in Korea has also developed in diverse ways across different regions. Moreover, due to the delay in industrialization caused by Japanese colonization and the Korean War, orally transmitted music remained a living tradition in many regions well into late 20th century. Fortunately, this gave researchers the opportunity to record and preserve many of these musical expressions. Taken together, I believe this coexistence of written musical heritage and living oral tradition reflects the cultural diversity that defines Korean music. This slide shows the present day's scene of Korean traditional music. Korean traditional music is currently being transmitted through cultural heritage designation, performing art, and school education. Now, let us step into the lived world of Korean folk song. Today's presentation focuses especially on crying, language, and song, and I will introduce several scenes from my fieldwork that show how these three elements are interwoven. Let us begin with the first, language and folk song.
할머니, 우리 애기 키우면서 했던 노래들 좀 해줘요.
애기 키우는 노래?
네. 네, 아니 자장가장 개우대 소리.
자장가?
네, 자장가 하나 한번 해보세요. 뭐라 하잖아요.
어디 자장가 한번 해봐. 혈하고 벼도 다 들어가고.
This is one of the most common situations I encounter during field research of folk song. The older the informant is, the more likely they are to be confused or hesitant when I use the word song. To communicate more effectively, I had to become accustomed to using the term 소리, means sound, instead. I ask, isn't that a song too? So they say, that is not song.
할머니,
In actual fieldwork, most local informants do not use the word 민요, folk song. They simply call it 소리, which literally means sound. In fact, many informants insisted that what they sang was not a song. According to them, a song refers to music that must be performed as it is written or fixed, such as literary music or popular songs. By contrast, 소리 is something you can make, change, and adapt freely. It belongs to you. This reflects our perception of 소리 as fluid, flexible, and improvisational, while songs are fixed, rule-bound, and formalized. Interestingly, even the famous Korean folk song 아리랑, you know 아리랑, 아리랑 includes the syllable 아리, which in some interpretation means sound. For example, in mountain, 야호, 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 야호. This is 메아리. 메 is mountain, 아리 is sound. 옹아리, 벙어리, 아리 is sound. Likewise, in 판소리, the term 소리 signifies the deeply expressive, orally transmitted, and improvised nature of the genre. Three individuals of different ages sang the same song, but with noticeable difference. They sang in a way that blended two or three different songs with no clear boundaries between them.
바람아 강풍아 너 울고 싶다고 우기를 마라 우리 댁 멋진 양반 놀기 좋으신 정자나무니 다 떨어진다
엄랑카네 내 틀로 구름 잡아서 이내 걸고 대추나무 두 개다가 생정나무 고리기대 덜렁 대자는 소리 질가는 해녀들이 길을 못 가고 중사를 지내 우리 대 서방님은 밑에 대비를 가는지 바람아 동포야 떠들려를 풀어라 너냐 나냐 불둥지를 높이 떴다 밤에 낮에나 항사랑이도 혼나 하시고
I asked, is the same song right? Why did you sing it differently? They informed, well, when you're excited, it just gets faster. It goes without saying. 네. According to classical Chinese text, singing is defined as a stretching out speech. The reason given for this elongation of speech is joy, which can be more broadly interpreted as an overflow of emotion. This request to stretch out acts almost like a musical cue, a gentle prompt that leads the speaker into melody. For example, when I ask informants to sing a children's play song, they often begin by performing it very quickly, almost like a chant or kind of rap, like this.
한 다리 은다리 지비하고 막대기 있고 우렁대렁 지지리 총태 오늘 전에 그랬단 말이야.
So, for example, 모노톤, 이빨 빠진 갈가지 우물가에 가지 마라 붕어 새끼 놀랜다. And stretch out please after 2-3 pitch structure. 이빨 빠진 갈가지 or 이빨 빠진 갈가지 and pentatonic scale plus ornamentation. 이빨 빠진 갈가지 우물가에 가지 마라, like this. So, well, I'm a singer. On some occasion, when I asked informers to either extend or shorten the phrasing, they responded by performing the same text in a different musical setting, suggesting that the choice of melody is flexible and can change based on tempo or emotional intention.
한 다리
Musicologists are typically accustomed to musical works composed by composers. As a result, even orally transmitted music is often analyzed and categorized as distinct stand-alone compositions. However, Korean folk songs are not fixed musical works in the conventional sense. Rather, they function as a musical language, a flexible and open system that can be adapted and shaped according to the performer's intent and context. I was curious about the underlying musical principle intuitively held by folk song performers, how they understood and applied the musical language of Korean folk song. As you may know, folk song research requires very, very large-scale data, which makes it necessary to narrow the scope of inquiry. For this reason, I focused on women's folk song in 전라남도, which I had marked on a map as a primary research region. Why women? I observed clear aesthetic and emotional difference between male and female singers. Male singers tended to pursue knowledge, status, and social recognition through music, whereas female singers often sought emotional sharing and comfort. As a result, women's folk songs demonstrated greater musical fluidity and a more expressive emotional range. Women, in particular, tend to create lyrics drawn from their own lived experience. This slide presents the result of my research on musical language. Singers in 전라남도 create the distinct identity of individual folk songs by combining specific mode and rhythmic structure. For example, Mi mode 전라 style plus free rhythm. 적어내라 갈미봉에 not middle, no middle. Freeze faster after 6 meter is 적어내라 갈미봉에 비가 묻어 내려온다. And 3, 4, 12. 적어내라 갈미봉에 이런 슬로우 4 meter. 적어내라 갈미봉에 비가 묻어 내려온다. Fast 4 meter. 적어내라 갈미봉에 비가 묻어 내려온다. So, Thank you. Now, let us take a closer look at the relationship between crying and song. In my very first fieldwork interview on Korean folk song, I encountered a deeply moving moment. Let's listen to it first. This song is 흥글소리.
지척 없이 나는 가네 어메 어메 우리 어메 나산 시상 볼라거든 연애 방에 들어가서 말만 나무 행개치매지만 나무 행개적사 농틈에다 찔러놨어 그놈 보고 나를 보소 어메 어메 우리 어메.
While the performance was singing, she suddenly began to cry, surprised and unsure of what to say. I asked, "Why do you sing this kind of song?" That time I was 20 years old. Why? She paused for a moment and replied, "Well, when I sing this song, I feel a release in my heart." After that, many of the informers told me this song saved my life. One informer explained that just beginning the song, starting with the word mother, was enough to bring tears to her eyes. This song, which invites crying, allows the singer to turn their hardship into lyrics and sing them aloud. Through this process, the singer begins to see themselves from a more objective perspective. As emotional distance grows between themselves and their pain, the problem that once felt overwhelming begins to feel more manageable, sometimes even less serious than it first appeared. This is another Hangul story and lyric.
어따 처잡놈아 날 데려다 니랑 내랑 만날 지게나 천년만년 살고 지고 했는데 내 청춘을 이리 못되게 냉내라 놓고 너는 가면 나는 잘 거나
The second scene involving crying comes from my own personal experience. When my mother-in-law passed away, our family held a traditional style funeral. According to custom, all the family members gathered twice during the early hours of the morning to perform ancestral rite. At the time, crying was expected as part of the ritual. I began to cry naturally, but an elder in the family gently corrected me, saying, "Not like that. You need to weep in the proper way. You need to go." At first, I felt this correction was unfair. Why should there be a prescribed way to express grief? But soon after, I came to understand how meaningful that 곡, that formalized rhythmic wailing truly was. It wasn't just a rule, it was a deeply human tool that allowed me to release pain in a way I couldn't have managed alone. This version of the crying sound is the closet to what I heard from my family.
아니 이게 수영이 틀렸어.
If I had simply cried in the usual way, I would have quickly become exhausted. But 곡, the ritualized wailing, is a structured form of crying. It limits the emotional release to control the frame, and as a result, it doesn't wear down the body as ordinary weaving might. Then I made two unexpected discoveries. First, even though most of my family members had little to no knowledge of traditional music, their cries were deeply rooted in the folk music tradition of their native region. Second, as time passed, the tone of the crying gradually changed, reflecting emotional transition that unfolded through the act of vocal expression. In other words, musical language is first formed at the level of speech or sound before it becomes song. And this underlying language can also be revealed through crying. Let me try to explain the crying I heard that day using the local folk modal system. On the first day, the family's crying focused do and si. And second day, la is emerged. La began to emerge. And then after, be used. Be almost like a sigh. Through this experience, I came to realize that each tone within the modal system carries its one emotional function, not just musically, but psychologically. There have been interviewing studies exploring the connection between crying sound and spoken language. This slide shows a summary of their research finding. In Korea, we found that adult crying in each region closely mirrors the modal pattern of regional folk song. The next scene comes from a shaman ritual I attended. It was a ritual held for deceased, and the atmosphere was solemn and heavy. First, listen.
임술새 김새꽃이 불시로 이성채서 이남술이나 저성채서 강돌이나 삼수고 삼은사지 물해려고 가지고 열두방님
I suddenly realized I was the only one in the ritual space not emotionally resonating with the moment. I was hearing it as singing, but never imagined it could be crying. Why? Because the shaman's way of crying was utterly unlike my one. I speak with the Jeolla province dialect, but the ritual was taking place in Gyeongsang province. As we saw earlier in Jeolla province, crying do, si, sliding tone. In contrast, in Gyeongsang province, people re to do, something like this. So.
임수이고 천남만 살다고 산을 넘어 물을 건너 배울 같은 겨들같이 아버지 세상 떠나고 보니 내 명칭은 대울 같은 제주로 영감 할머니 사다가 영감 할머니 세상을 떠나고
And then I realized something just as direct creates varies in verbal communication. Musical language also varies by region, and that included the way people cry. This slide shows the modal characteristics of Korean folk songs by region, along with the specific tone used to express crying. First is the cry of Norse performing art music.
어디 갔어? 오마니 어디 갔어?
This aerial folk song, 라도 라라 미레 미레 미라 라도 라라 미레 미레. Melody is so crying, and then shaman ritual in Seoul.
아주 고향 갈 거를
레도 라도라슬라 레리리리 또 after 경상 province 곡 this is 곡
어디 갔소 오마
I'm sorry.
어이구 뭐야 어이구 인지가 먼지 올라 어이구 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 아이고 아이고 마
This is shower ritual in family crying. 네. There was only one case in my fieldwork where a person sang a crying song using a musical language that did not resemble their native dialect. At the beginning of the song, the singer clearly used the musical idiom of Jeolla province, but by the end of each phrase the style has shifted to that of Japanese music. After the song, I asked about this shift and learned his story. Listen.
편지를 낼까 말까 망성거리라 말도 없이 소식 없이 기은 편지가 말도 없이 소식 없이 떠나갑니다.
그때
예.
양반이 어떻게 했냐면 옛날 그 이제 외국도 갔다 오시고 그렇게 해온 게는 이제 옛날 고생을 많이 했냐는 거지. 그래서 결론적으로 흰기 양반 노래라고 하면은 완전히 해신 거지.
고국을 갔다 오셨다는 거는
응?
어디 갔다 오셨다는 건
외국에.
외국에 일본에
이래도 싼 놈이 서양도 가서
지금 가셨어요. 아이고
그때만 이제 자유를 못하고 모집고에서 갔죠 그 집도.
그래가지고 이 양반 그때가 완전히 이 양반은 해신곡이라 자기 슬픔에다가
유행가 비슷하게 그림이라도
시대 촬영하고 유행가고 가까웠고 맛있네요.
해신곡이죠.
때는 그때가 제일 좋을 때지 그때 돈을 겁나게 벌었었는데 그놈의 돈을 이용을 못한 것이 제일 아팠어. 이놈의 돈 편의점 그냥
This experience showed me how deeply rooted both language and musical language are within people. Now, I'd like to conclude this section by reviewing how language, crying, and song are interconnected. Dialect in Korea function as musical language, differing in many aspects such as vocal placement, tone color, intonation, length, and pitch. Interestingly, when stretching out dialect speech often turns it into folk song. In fact, this is why dialect regions and folk song regions in Korea closely overlap. And when the emotion becomes stronger than the song, it turns to crying. The relationship between folk song, vocal placement, and geography in Korea can be visualized as follows. Low population density, higher latitude mountain area, people like high tone. The song is high tone, like high tone. High population density, low latitude, flat land area is people like low tone. Like this. Now let us listen to regional dialect and the corresponding folk songs. As you listen, please pay attention to tone color and vocal placement in their speech, as well as the vocal range they choose when singing. First, Northwest region.
석 달인가 넉 달 배워가지고 관사님만 하라 그러니까 뭐 하는 건가 보다 그러고 나가서 하는데 추강의를 내는데 이 청이라는 게 있잖아요. 그 오르락 내리락 하는 청 때문에 자기 청을 가지고 있어야 되는데 엄청 높은 청을 낸 거야 처음에. 그러니까 도저히 보통 사람 낼 수 없는 청을 낸 거야. 추강의 이런 청을 낸 거예요. 그러니까 김선수 선생님 분장실에 있다가 뭐야 저거 저거 어떻게 해 이러는데 쫙 넣고니 쫙 해놨다는 거예요. 저는 그 높은 것도 모르거든요.
Next, Northeast region. Next, Southwest region.
둥개둥개도 하고 두부 달가. 애기들은 이제 이렇게 재우려면 애기들 딱 지금 두부 달강 두부 달강 두부 달강 자 방해 방해 방해야 컹컹컹 찌어라.
And Southeast region. Section 3. I wanted to explore a wide range of emotional expression. That is why I turned to Pansori, a genre of performing art music that deals deeply with emotion. As an orally transmitted tradition, Pansori shares the same musical language as folk song, 전라 region. It is performed on stage with heightened dramatic intensity. For this reason, Pansori serves as a powerful example of how the emotional vocabulary of folk song can be expanded and enriched in an artistic context. The Pansori piece I have selected for this study is 심청가. Its central character, 신봉사, a blind man, experiences a series of devastating losses throughout the story. First loss is his wife, the death of his wife. Second, daughter. Third, second wife and loss of property. Fourth, was deep regret. Based on this, I explored how Pansori expressed sorrow through a range of emotional texture and intensities, allowing us to perceive grief not as a single emotion, but as a nuanced, evolving experience. The table on this slide compares the musical characteristics immediately after a traumatic event and after time has passed. To help you experience this difference more vividly, we will now hear two contrasting excerpts from a Pansori performance. We are honored to have a special guest today. Please join me in welcoming master singer Jung Soo-in. The first song represents a moment immediately after the wife's death, while the second follows the completion of her funeral. Please.
She's drum. Thank you.
first. 예. 신봉사키가 맥혀 아이고 마누라 우리 마누라 죽었네 참으로 죽었는가 내리동굴 치동굴 면목제비들을 덜컥 가사멀 쾅쾅 치고 발둥둥 구르면서 아이고 마누라. 예. 예. later stage. 예. 주가포해 박존이나 많이 먹고 돌아가오 무덤을 검쳐 안고 지둥굴 내리둥굴며 가삼 쾅쾅목 제비지를 덜컥 아이고 마누라 마누라 아니면은 얼어서도 죽을 테요. 예.
Thank you, 정수인. In order to explore how emotional expression changes throughout the narrative flow, I converted various musical characteristics into numerical value. What you see here is the resulting graph. The strongest emotions were expressed in the scene of the wife steps, followed by the moment when he lost his daughter. As the experience of loss continued, we can observe that the emotional intensity gradually diminished. The finding revealed that not all losses were expressed with the same degree of sorrow. In fact, describing this emotion simply as sadness was not accurate. The emotions felt at the moment of loss were much closer to denial, isolation, and anger than to sorrow. As time progressed, these emotions gradually shift toward negotiation and depression. This emotional progression closely mirrors Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's well-known 5 stages of grief. You have my manuscript, right? To save time, I hope you can read while listening to music. Please read this page and next page. We are more 판소리. Listen. To demonstrate this difference we will now listen to this passage as performed by master singer Jung Soo-in. Let's invite Master Jung Soo-in to the stage once again. She will sing the women's crying on the left and men's crying on the right. Men is Seoul crying, women is Jeolla province crying. Please.
예. First in 춘향. 예. 아이고 여보 도련님 참으로 가실라요 나를 어쩌고 가실라요 도련님은 올라가면 명문기 쪽 재상가 효조숙녀 정실없고 소년급제에 입신양명 정운에 높이 올라 주야 호강 지내실 때 오냐 춘향아 우지 마라 온 나라 정부라도 각분동서 임그리워 규중심처 늙어 있고 공문 한강 천리회 관산 월야 높은 절에 주월강산이 정막헌디 연을 캐며 상사하니 너와 나와 깊은 정은 상봉할 날이 있을 테니 쇠끝같이 모진 마음 홍로라도 녹지 말고 송죽같이 굳은 절개 네가 나로 오기만 기다려라. Thank you so much. 예.
She is a professional, very, very professional. I was a major drummer. Thank you very much. Conclusion. First, I hope that everyone can come to know their own musical identity and use it to express their emotion and find emotional balance. Second, I hope we can foster emotional connection by understanding the musical language of our neighbors and friends. Third, recognizing and appreciating the diversity of musical languages not only enhance our listening experience, but also provide valuable resources for creative and cultural production. Today, we have explored the intricate relationship between language, crying, and song in Korean culture. All sound in the world carry information, even without conscious awareness, we communicate through these sounds and are influenced by them. Today, by sharing my research with you today, I hope that those of you who are also interested in musical information will continue to build upon the parts I could not fully explore. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have some time for the questions. I would like to translate the question and response for her. So please, if you have a question, raise your hand.
Any question? Any question?
Yeah.
Thank you for your keynotes. This was amazing for me. And my question is, with the example you show of the crying, I think all the pitch intervals are just one semitone. Do you have like a pitch interval of 2 semitones, like a one whole note? Can they sing within one, like for example from? Or if I remember not correctly, like what are the intervals that they use for crying?
네, 오늘 그 보여주신 예시 중에서 대부분의 울음이 그러니까 반음인 걸로 보였는데 이제 온음으로 우는 울음도 있는지 아마 설명해 주신 것 중에 부산의 내용이 그거였을 것 같은데요. 네.
그 제가 아까 이제 흥글 소리 같은 경우는 피치 연구를 한 적이 있어요. 그래서 이제 해보니까 이제 음악학자들이 이거 20세기 초반에는 이거를 온음으로 생각했다가 그 다음에 서양 음악 하시는 분들이 와서 이걸 반음으로 그리면서 좀 더 반음에 가깝게 변화된 것이기도 해요. 근데 어쨌든 해보니까 한국 사람들은 이 온음을 온음으로 하지 않고 약간 좁게 기본적으로 좀 좁은 음으로 이걸 생각을 하고요. 그 다음에 반음은 사실은 쓰지는 못해요. 일반인들은 너무 어려워요. 그런데 육자배기, 그러니까 전라도 같은 경우는 그게 좀 더 좁은 데다가 슬라이딩 하고 있기 때문에 반음이라고 생각을 하고 악보를 그리는 거고, 나머지 지역은 여러분이 아는 온음보다는 좁게 부르는데 그게 스테이블하기 때문에 온음으로 인지를 하고 음악학자들이 온음으로 악보를 그리고 있는 중입니다.
Okay, so that would be quite difficult to translate. But okay, so basically the people is also about the tuning system, maybe not tuning, but people singing. So of course the Korean people cannot sing the exact, let's say, whole tone or something. There's a kind of a tendency that previously we thought that it's more like a whole tone, the crying and the mode is on whole tone. But later, after the Western musicologists who studied Western musicology started to analyze the Korean folk music, then they tend to notate it on the half tone. But it's still it's a bit wider than the half tone, and usually the old people cannot feel difficult to just express those things. But in case of the Jeolla province singing, we have some kind of pitch glide, and that sounds like more like a semitone. So that was one part. And also about the whole tone crying, this is just my additional explanation. She also explained that the Gyeongsang province, Busan's crying sounds more like a whole tone, which was quite kind of not natural, let's say, familiar for her. So that people in Gyeongsang province think there isn't crying, but that sound that much crying for her. So that was also introduced during the presentation. Yeah.
whole tone is 200 cent.
Yeah.
In Korea folk song, whole tone is 114.
Thank you.
200, not 200.
Thank you, Professor.
And is there any questions also? Oh, so yeah. Sorry that it's quite dim to see the hands. I didn't notice that, but yeah.
Thank you. Oh, two. Thank you for your lecture today, Professor. My question is related to, you mentioned how the geographical regions saw similarities of pitch and tone based on geographical features, such as the northern, more mountainous regions had more of a high-pitched tone, whereas the southern flatlands had more of a low-pitched tone. Do you see this pattern in other areas of the world? Is this like a repeating pattern of these high-pitched tones that carry over longer distances, are frequently seen in mountainous regions versus the lower tone in flatland areas?
그 산지에서 높은 피치를 부르고 평지에서는 낮은 피치를 선호하는 걸 혹시 한국 이외 다른 곳에서도 보신 적이 있으신지?
너무 당연하지 않나요? 그리고 저희가 중국에 민요조사 갔을 때에도 그 삼엽이나 이런 때는 굉장히 높은 삼지라서 상상할 수 없을 정도로 높은 소리를 내려고 노력하시고 그렇게 해야 된다고 생각하시고 또 알프스의 요들성 같은 경우도 그런 경우고 일본에서도 그런 사례를 제가 학자들한테 발표로 들은 적이 있는데요. 우리 같은 경우도 그런 미적 취향이 실제로 조사해 보면 옆에 사람이 낮게 뭐 베이스나 바리톤 정도로 부르면 옆에 사람들이 다 싫어해요. 그래서 부르지 마라. 말려요.
어디서요?
경상도나 강원도 쪽에 가면 낮게 부르는 거를 싫어하기 때문에 그렇게 부르면 안 된다라고 표현을 하십니다.
Okay, so she thinks there's a lot of other examples. For example, in China, and the very high mountain area, they also sing a very high pitch. And also in Switzerland, we have a yodel, which is very high, of course. And she also heard the similar examples from the Japanese Society Conference. And also, let's say in Korea, in Gyeongsang Province and other like in Gangwon, if someone sings in a lower tone, they think that's wrong or not that good sound. So yeah, it's also a lot from her personal experience. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Other questions? Yeah, Hanoi, please. Oh, sorry, yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, Miki later.
Hello. Thank you very much for this talk. I really enjoyed it, and especially the live performance too. I don't actually have it's less of a question, but more of a statement about how much I appreciate the work that you're doing. Because as I was looking at all of these videos and watching the incredible performance by our performer, made me think about how music recommendation and the way that we approach music recommendation and music generation has become extremely hyper-individualized. So we recommend music in this hyper-individualized way. We come up with these ways of developing embeddings in a very hyper-individualized sense. And I think that music generation is also going in that direction, where we're thinking about user preferences from a very hyper-individualized way. But what I really felt from this talk was I was very moved by the performance. And I'm sure if we had a share of hands, but like how many of you were moved by that performance, even though you don't speak Korean, because I don't speak Korean, right? It's this idea of like music and performance being a part of like group cohesion. And I think that was a very big theme that I took away from the presentation about music being about group cohesion and this feeling of being together in a community, even here in this like little hall. And so it made me reflect about how I can take some of those ideas and experiences from the talk today, but think about systems that are maybe moving in another direction, that think about group cohesion and this kind of shared experience as being the primary focus of why we design recommendation systems, or why we design music generations, or why we design some of these tools. Yeah, it's more of a reflection and more like I'm very excited by this talk and kind of sparking these new ideas on how to look at how we design some of these systems that that matter a lot to the Izmir community. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, I will briefly introduce 그냥 그 찬사였었고 그다음에 네, 이 그룹 이제 그 단순히 음악 추천이나 이런 게 개인화되는 게 아니라 어떤 그룹으로서의 경험으로 어떤 말하는 게 굉장히 중요할 것 같다. 이제 그런 것들을 이제 통해서 이 강연을 통해서 어떻게 경험했다라는 의견이었습니다. So Gianluca, I think yeah. So I think yeah, he has a question. Yeah. So the mic is coming from there. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I join all the other people saying thank you for your presentation. It was really great. My question is about, like you said at the beginning of the presentation that the sori, they can be improvised on the spot. Lyrics change, melodies change. Everything is very individualized to some sense, like to the singer and to the moment. So what makes two different interpretations the same song then? How do you recognize that two different interpretations with different melodies and different lyrics are actually the same song?
소리가 기본적으로 이게 다 굉장히 이제 가사도 달라질 수 있고 멜로디도 달라질 수 있다고 했는데 그렇다고 하면 그렇게 이제 달라지는 것들이 어떻게 하나의 같은 소리라고 같은 어떤 공통된 것이라고 인지할 수 있는 거죠? 어떤 요소들로?
일단은 가장 중요한 거는 이제 음계입니다. 이게 음과 음 간의 간격이라고 하는 것이 그 지역 사람들한테 공통되는 언어로서 작용을 하고 있기 때문에 그 바운더리를 넘어서는 거는 약간 좀 다른 차원의 현상이에요. 그러니까 뭔가 새로운 노래를 받아들였거나 뭐 흉내를 내거나 이런 모방 차원에서는 할 수 있지만 자기가 자신의 언어를 한다는 거 안에서 움직이기 때문에 공통된 그 지점이 변하지 않죠. 그러니까 그래서 언어라고 할 수 있는 것 같아요. 정확하게 이해를 한 답인가요?
So the most fundamental thing is the mode and the scale. That's how the musical language is formed, and 소리 is like an let's say flexible term in that given scale and mode. Maybe it's my personal. It can be so in that given musical language, we can think that as some kind of a very common thing and also shared in that community, in that village. So that is some kind of an important part of that what we perceived it as some kind of one thing as the villages share also, yeah.
모든 그 소리 외국인들이 내는 소리들을 들어보면 약간 우리랑 음정이 다르네라는 느낌을 받을 때가 있는데 울음소리는 물론이며 예를 들면 일본 사람들이 그 방송 때 이런 표현을 쓰잖아요. 그러면 그 소리만 들어도 어떤 느낌의 일본 사람들이 어떤 느낌으로 지금 저 소리를 내는구나를 알 수 있는 것처럼 그냥 제가 그냥 하는 무심코 하는 아이고 이렇게 할 때도 그거의 음정이 정확하게 소통되는 부분이 있더라고요. 그래서 그 지역 사람들은 그 소리가 나오면 제가 어떤 느낌이구나라는 걸 이해할 수 있게 되는 그런 지점이 있는 것 같습니다.
Okay, so let me further explain. Also, the story is not, as she also mentioned, it's not a piece work. We think as a music as a work, and whether cross-version things, we think about whether this is the same work or not. But story is more like a language, a grammar things, and these grammar are so strong that we can feel the difference almost directly when you saw the others, foreign speakers singing or just an accent. Or she made an example from Japanese. As there's some kind of you can think you can hear those some kind of specific interval from Japanese speaking and reactions, and yeah, so that kind of things and all our verbal languages, this language expressions are somehow combined with this musical mode of that village. Yeah. So thank you, and it's almost already 2:10. So I guess it would be better to have some coffee break. And if you have a question, I would help to translate and for you. And okay, so thank you so much, and please give a great applause.
Thank you so much. Thank you.